Gabriel Obodai Tobo Ashon is the man that we are celebrating tonight. You must know him if you watch Metro TV regularly. But even if you don't watch Metro TV and you're a human rights activist, or you believe in sanitation, or you believe in culture, Gabriel has distinguished himself in that area, reporting on human rights, sanitation, and culture. The British Council in Ghana, or the British High Commission in Ghana, has honored Gabriel with a scholarship, what they call the Chevening Scholarship, which is given every year over the last 20 years to a few scholars to undertake master's degrees programs in the United Kingdom to strengthen their professional career. Gabriel has received one such award, and we'll be talking to him in some detail. But for those of you who are watching for the first time, if you just came to Ghana and you're wondering who is this guy I'm talking about, here's Gabriel Obodai Tobo Ashon.
Gabriel Ashon. Nyami gbekene yi afie dwe afie teni hone wo mamike o papa Jemlin ni akeni wo chese we kumenye e yakwe wo chia boy papa ko hewo wo ke wona ni yo amro ne mi ko nyami gbeken ye hia anokwa ni bi mi mba wa ojogban ye wo follow ya gbelese ibamle akeja ngbe wo le na hekete wo shinomle school ya hun country no ojogban shinshika mombe na keba akwemi Ninken here wumlia home, Mbanano Kofio, Ninken by a journalism school, Kenyente, Nimbacho journalist, Mahaman fairly, no he won't here. Na que ahusaya be, noni chomliaka beke, Imbasumo, Nigbeke be crunkome, whom a chomlin. Amrone, Dremo, Nikan no moon jacke, Inyamik bekene, te it was a G aha 10.
Okay, Gabriel, how are you?
I'm fine.
Congratulations, I have to say. And we know that we're going to lose you for a year, but we think that it's a very important step. And you come back and help us build a better society and a better Metro TV. How did you start? Right,
so it all started in La, my hometown. And as a little boy growing up, I attended school at La Wireless, then to La Presec, Presbyterian Senior High School, then I went to the Ghana Institute of Journalism. But let me stay for a while with La Wireless, because at that point I was one of the poorly performing students in class, and primarily because of my family background and the neighborhood in which I was staying. So I really wasn't doing well. I was scoring as low as 5%, 5 over 100 in class. I remember.
In which subject?
Well, several. Look, I have my report cards here, and one, you could see that environmental studies I had fail, religious and moral education fail.
Which class was this?
This is primary 4, but I have yet another one, which is another, well, JHS 1, and at that point I was scoring weak pass. And with one of the report cards, then my teacher wrote lazy, and I had to cancel it, because I felt embarrassed about it.
Which class were you?
This one was in primary 4, this one primary 6.
Where the teacher wrote that you were lazy?
Primary 4. And even in primary 4, I was then appointed class prefect. But because I couldn't read properly, I couldn't write, and I couldn't then determine names of my colleagues while sharing books, the position was taken away from me and then given to someone else. So it was.
You couldn't read
really,
because your language skills were not.
Yes, at the time. So it was really terrible for me. And
so you had a very checkered beginning in your academic life.
Exactly. And then my family too. It's worth mentioning that when I moved on from La Wireless and then to La Presec, I lost my parents. That was in 2009. My mom, Patience Odoko Anan, passed on in January 2009. And in December the same year, then my father also passed on. So it wasn't really easy then having to focus on my academics, coupled with the fact that my mom left my younger brother, who was 2 years at the time. And my grandmother had to then step into the shoes of my mom, because my mom was a petty trader at the Agbogbulonshi market. So my granny, who was at the time about 70 years, had to then take up that responsibility to go to Agbogbulonshi to sell.
Is she still available today, your granny?
Yes, and still goes to the market.
How old is she now?
She's about nearing 80.
I see. So where did you get the turnaround?
Right, so it began when I had a chance to join young people's rights advocacy group called Curious Minds, the Children and Youth in Broadcasting, when I was in SS2 at La Presec.
Was it a group within the school?
No, based at GBC. And I was listening to their programs on Obonu FM. My granny's dial was always on Obonu FM. So I had a chance to listen to a group of young people who were talking about rights and responsibilities of young people and how best we could then develop our skills well and then better society. So that's where my interest in journalism started. So I called and then I was invited to join, and in no time I was made a presenter on the organization's GA program on Obonu FM and was also then contributing to their programs on Unique FM. So I had the interest to do this more, and then I had a chance to enter the Ghana Institute of Journalism, GIJ.
For your undergraduate program?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you study in GIJ?
Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies with emphasis on journalism.
Where did you pick your language skills, which I have to say now is sterling, actually, listening to you and listening to all your reports on Metro TV? Where did you pick up your language skills again?
Well, determination, because there were times that I couldn't even get my grammar well, and I had to, a few friends ridiculed me, but it challenged me to get books and then read more. And by virtue of then being in touch with people who were constantly speaking English, because back then in lab, my friends all around were speaking Ga, but through the exposure I had, I think over time it improved considerably. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which books did you read? Where did you get them from?
It's been a while, but it was through a personal initiative that I had to go buy the books. I remember initially when I joined Curious Minds and I was making a contribution on I was about saying that parents are, like I should have said parents are, and I ended up saying parents is. That was how bad my grammar was. And then some of my colleagues there laughed, and then we moved on. But that then, in a bid not to make or commit the same error again, I had to go the extra mile to get books to then better my.
Why did you take interest in this aspect of journalism, this human rights, community reporting and community development? Did you pick that interest at the Ghana Institute of Journalism? Where did you pick it up?
No, primarily through my volunteerism work with Curious Minds, mm-hmm. and also from my community, because there were many youngsters in the same neighborhood. If you know Latu well, I lived in Panama, mm-hmm. where many youngsters, unfortunately, are...
Which side is Panama? I lived in La as well, so I know a bit of...
Behind Birthday.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
There are pockets of areas where young people are drug addicts, mm-hmm. and teenage pregnancy is also very high and was at the time. And there were youngsters that we started life together. We were children and they were performing very well, but because the support wasn't there, then a number of them dropped out of school. Some are now parents, others are struggling. So for me, it shouldn't continue. And if I could then use the media to change that, why not? And I have at least contributed to changing some aspects of the things in La.
Mm. Okay, Obodai has a video on, is it neglected children?
Yes, but titled The Neglected Souls.
Okay, The Neglected Souls. Let's have a look at it. We'll come back to the studio shortly.
Tema Station is one of the major terminals for intra-city buses. It's easier to catch a commercial vehicle here to any part of the capital, and I apply here a lot. Before day breaks and sometimes as late as 10 p.m. because of my job. As a journalist, I am always curious, and I made a peculiar observation about some kids, poorly clothed, malnourished, and often seen in groups chit-chatting, carrying loads, or sleeping in obscure places.
I see them here, both boys and girls. I don't know why. I don't know what the society is doing about it. It seems as if police doesn't see them. Or, look at the place. Look at the area. Prominent people passes here, now and then. They do see them. What are we doing about it? They are also human beings, they are Ghanaians.
We had to edit that video, sorry, because it's quite long. Let's now come to I'm interested in this particular award that you got, the Certificate of Recognition from UNICEF in recognition of your contribution to the fight against open defecation in Ghana, evidenced in your feature entitled The Attitude Underlying Open Defecation, published on Metro TV on 7th April 2016, a story that earned you a finalist position in the 2016 edition of the Open Defecation Free Media Contest. Tell us about this. What's that, just in a minute?
Right, so it was to recognize the contribution of some journalists who have been championing causes to ensure proper sanitation, particularly open defecation, which in Accra for some time it wasn't really the best. And if you recall, a few years back, then we had the cholera outbreak, for which open defecation was mentioned to be a contributory factor. So I did extensive coverage, visited communities, and we published or broadcast it on Metro TV. So then UNICEF, in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, sought to name 3 journalists nationally who they felt was doing well. So that's how come I became one of the 3 journalists recognized.
And this is the big one, the Chevening Award. It says that the Foreign and Commonwealth Office of the United Kingdom presents the certificate of recognition to Gabriel Obodai Tobo-Ashon, who has been selected for a 2018-2019 Chevening Scholarship to study MSc in Media Practice for Development and Social Change. MSc, Media Practice for Development and Social Change at the University of Sussex. So where is the University of Sussex?
It's in Brighton.
Brighton in England.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We hope that you will go there in the spirit that you have started, and that you will come with good tidings, and you come with a lot of knowledge and information.
Yes, and really I'm seeking to specialize in the field that I have started. In GIG, emphasis wasn't placed on development. You know, it was something general. But then with my master's, I want to specialize, and the course tells it all.
Development
media
and social
practice
change.
For development and social change.
That is to say, how the media can be applied towards development and social change.
Exactly.
That's excellent.
So I'm seeking
That's
to come back as a better person.
And then when you come back, you can be the Minister for Gender Development and Social Protection.
It's in order.
Yes,
Amen
absolutely.
to that.
But you've done very well. We are so proud of you. And what's your email address so that people can send you an email?
GabrielAshon@gmail.com.
Okay, we'll put it on the screen, GabrielAshon@gmail.com. If you are excited by this this great story, send him an email and then engage with him. We'll be in touch with you all the time. Congratulations once again, and we are very proud of you. That was Gabriel Obodai Tobo-Ashon.